Hello, my name is Kim, and I have Tarlov Cyst disease. I have bilateral Tarlov Cysts at C5, 6, and 7. I wanted to give an update to everybody about how my recovery from surgery went. I finally was able to get my surgery done on my left C7 Tarlov cyst. It was a long journey to get that approval. There's videos I have about that journey, but on November 10th, I went to Dallas to see Dr. Feigenbaum to get my surgery done. And so was so nervous, so incredibly scared about getting surgery. I knew it was the right thing for me, but that didn't make it any less scary any less scary to do the surgery. And so I got there, after the first, you show up to like 1 or 2 days early, you meet with Dr. Feigenbaum, you fill out some paperwork with the hospital. On surgery day, you show up, they get you some more, stickers and all the things that the hospital protocol has you do. They brought me back to the OR intake room. They don't let your significant other come back until after your IV's in. So they got my IV in. I was reunited with my significant other. They proceeded to allow her to come back in. Met with every doctor under the sun. They double checked if I had extra questions. I met with the nerve monitoring people, Dr. Feigenbaum, my anesthesiologist, and I'm sure there were other people who I talked to and can't remember. My head nurse I met, and they were all great. And then it went pretty quickly. I was the first operation of the day, so they took me back. And they took me back, and I don't remember anything. So while you're in that pre-op area, they gave me some sort of magical juice, and I was out and don't remember anything until I was back in my room. And so I found out that they ended up on my left C7, I had a second cyst that didn't show up on the MRI. So Dr. Feigenbaum treated both. He basically squeezed out the spinal fluid in that cyst, squeezed it out, wrapped it twice, it looks like, from the surgical notes, and then they put a little titanium clip on it so it won't reinflate. My first 2 weeks of post-surgery, the first week I spent in Texas, that one was probably the worst week. I laid in bed the whole time. Every 4 hours I had Norco in my system, and wasn't really able to raise my arms up. I was able to take a lap around the living room of my Airbnb, but that was about it. So after that, each day got a little easier. I just passed week 4 or 1 month post-surgery about 4 days ago, and I'm doing really well. Today is actually my first day driving in the car by myself. I could have probably driven last week, but I just wanted to be careful. I'm back to most of my normal regular life. I'm not back to work yet, but I work in a stressful work environment, so I wanted to give myself enough time to kind of heal and not, do anything crazy during a pandemic. So traveling during a pandemic was interesting. It was, I wore every bit of PPE I could. We wore gloves, surgical masks, and face shields to protect ourselves from getting COVID on the flights there and back. We stayed home for 2 weeks after we got back from surgery, just to be on the safe side and not expose any family to anything. Those first 2 weeks, I basically laid in bed all day. and didn't get up and move a lot. I felt best laying down, which some people don't feel the same about. I didn't have to wear my surgical collar at all, other than, you know, I wore it on the flights and rides back that first week. But aside from that, I haven't had to wear that. I feel strong. I'm actually helping move somebody out of their house. So being very careful. I still have weight restrictions, but I'm able to pack items and help where I can. So overall, very successful. I only have one random new symptom that I didn't have before, and that's my pointer finger, and on the outer side of my left arm above my elbow, I have some neuropathy. I have some numbness, some tingling in those fingers that didn't exist there before. I did have numbness and tingling in my pinky and my ring finger prior to surgery. That symptom has not been back yet. I do anticipate I'll know more once I go back to work if that still exists. It wasn't an everyday symptom, but you know, working long days helped agitate that. So I'll know more about that one in the near future. But otherwise, I would get that surgery again in a heartbeat. I knew I was in great hands with Dr. Feigenbaum. He is a specialist for a reason. He knows what he's doing. I felt very safe and comfortable. I only had one nurse who wasn't stellar while we were at the hospital, and she doesn't even work typically with those patients. She was covering from another section of the hospital. So overall, I had an amazing experience. Would do it again in a heartbeat. So for anybody who's struggling with Tarlov Cysts disease, you know, you're in good hands with Dr. Feigenbaum, and I wish you all well. I probably won't do too many more updates on this, as I'm on my healing journey, unless some new issues arise or new symptoms, because I want everybody to there's not a lot of cervical people out there, so I want more people to have a resource to follow as they're in their healing journey. So hopefully not too much more to come, and I'm just going to start living my life. So thank you for all who've reached out, gotten support. There's a great Facebook group called Tarlov Sisters and Misters. That was just my saving grace while learning about this disease and how to treat it. And I hope you find all the answers you need. So good luck.